English around us.
Real English for every situation.
Welcome back to English Around Us. I'm Sarah. Today, we have a very special episode for you. We are diving into the morning routines of 3 major cities: Tokyo, Paris, and New York. You will learn words like packed, savor, and commute. So get your coffee ready and let's listen to the conversation.
Have you ever really thought about how you start your day? I mean, those first few hours after you wake up, if it feels personal, right? But it's actually governed by these invisible cultural rules. It's not just what you eat, but how you move, how you think about time.
In what society, pressures you to prioritize before you've even had your first coffee.
Exactly. So today we are doing a huge jet-setting deep dive. We're crossing 3 continents all before lunch.
Sounds ambitious.
It is.
Well,
We're looking at the morning routines in 3 global powerhouses, Tokyo, Paris, and New York, to try and figure out what cultural operation system they're all running on.
right.
And our mission today is really important for you, the learner. We're going to take the essential vocabulary that defines these routines, the words of the morning, if you will, and use them like keys.
Keys to unlock the bigger cultural ideas behind them.
Yes. If you're an intermediate English speaker, getting these specific words in their context is like shortcut to fluency. But more than that, it's a shortcut to really getting the culture.
That's the real challenge, isn't it? We're not just going to give you dictionary definitions for words like commute or packed. We're going to explore the weight, the history those words carry in these cities. We need to understand why these words matter so much, that they dictate how millions of people act every single day.
And we have some amazing source material today.
Yeah.
It covers these 3 major hubs, and the data shows 3 really distinct cultural themes.
Very distinct.
Tokyo is laser focused on efficiency and speed. Paris, on the other hand, prioritizes pleasure and slowness.
A total contrast.
And then there's New York, which is all about productivity and
A
output.
kind of intense hybrid.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're going to start in Tokyo. This is an environment where just the sheer scale of the population means the city has to operate with the precision of a Swiss watch.
It really does. The core idea here, the one that governs the morning, is absolute efficiency and speed. Every single movement is optimized.
When you say efficiency in Tokyo, what does that really mean? Is it just about being fast?
It's more than that. It's about minimizing waste. Not just, throwing things away, but wasting time, wasting space.
I see.
The whole system is designed to move the maximum number of people in the smallest amount of space in the shortest possible time. And that brings us right to the reality of the morning travel experience.
Okay, so let's focus on commuting realities first, because this is where that idea of speed becomes really physical. Our first keyword is one most people have heard of: rush hour.
Right. So rush hour is, simply put, the busiest time for traffic for public transport, usually between, say, 7 and 9 in the morning.
Sure, we have that everywhere.
But in Tokyo, rush hour isn't just a busy period. It's a mandatory, incredibly intense window of time. The whole corporate world, the schools, everything relies on everyone hitting that window at the exact same time.
So the day can start precisely when it's supposed to. No exceptions.
No exceptions. And that leads to a very specific physical reality. What happens when millions of people are all trying to be efficient at the same time?
That sounds chaotic. And it introduces our second keyword, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is packed.
It does. And we define packed as extremely crowded.
Yeah.
So crowded that you literally cannot move or turn your body.
I've seen pictures of this. It's
Yeah.
something else.
It is. It's an adjective that implies total saturation. The classic example is a can of sardines. That's the level of density we're talking about. And it can be, well, pretty shocking for visitors.
So why is this tolerated? It sounds incredibly uncomfortable.
It's a cultural trade-off. That's the key. The Japanese rail system is famous, world-renowned for its precision and speed.
Right.
So the collective benefit of getting everyone to their destination exactly on time outweighs the personal discomfort of being packed in like that for, 30 minutes or so. The system's efficiency is built on accepting maximum occupancy.
That is fascinating. So the word packed isn't even seen as a failure of the system.
Not at all. In a way, it's confirmation that the system is working perfectly at maximum efficient capacity.
So if a train wasn't packed,
That would mean there's wasted space, wasted potential, and therefore the whole system is less efficient.
wow. Okay, so if efficiency is the goal, let's talk about time and timing. This brings us to our next crucial word, one that has immense cultural weight there. The word is punctual.
To be punctual just means being exactly on time. But again, like with rush hour, the context in Tokyo takes it to an extreme.
How extreme?
Well, if a high-speed train is late by even 1 minute 60 seconds, the railway company will issue a formal public apology.
A whole apology for 1 minute. That's hard to imagine. Where I'm from, if you're 5 minutes late, you're basically on time.
Exactly, and that's the cultural difference. So why is this level of punctuality so vital there?
It must go back to the system you mentioned.
It does. The whole transport network in Tokyo is so interconnected, so intricate. If one train is late, just one, it creates a domino effect. A cascading failure across the entire massive system.
So being punctual isn't just about being polite.
It's not about manners at all, really. It's a fundamental pillar that keeps the city's infrastructure from collapsing. Your individual punctuality isn't just for you, it's an obligation you have to the collective.
You're part of the machine. If you're late, you're breaking the machine for everyone else.
You're disrupting that delicate balance. The high value on efficiency creates a kind of social contract where being punctual is absolute.
Okay, that focus on time must also change how people do basic things, like eat. How does someone have breakfast and stay punctual while moving through a packed rush hour?
Well, you can't really stop, can you? And that brings us to quick fuel and our keyword, vending machine.
A vending machine, of course.
It's a machine that gives you quick snacks or drinks, and they are available instantly right on the street or on the train platform. They are absolutely everywhere.
And they sell everything, right? Not just chips and soda.
Everything. Hot coffee, hot meals, face masks, umbrellas, you name it. It's a perfect example of applying efficiency to a basic human need.
You don't have to wait for a barista or a clerk.
Exactly. Why waste that time? The vending machine is there 24/7. It requires zero human interaction at the point of sale. It minimizes the time spent getting fuel, which allows the punctual individual to keep moving.
It's frictionless.
Completely frictionless. If you compare it to other cultures, the insight is so clear. It removes the small talk, the social part, the little delays that come with a human transaction. The sources show that in a Tokyo morning, there's often minimal human interaction until you actually get to the office. The vending machine makes that possible.
So if we wrap up Tokyo, the story's pretty clear. The immense pressure for efficiency means a commuter has to be absolutely punctual. They'll be packed into a train during rush hour, and their breakfast probably comes quickly and anonymously from a vending machine.
The whole routine is about maximizing movement and minimizing any kind of pause.
It makes you wonder, could you keep up that level of speed and precision day after day?
It's a system built for incredible output, but it definitely comes at the cost of personal space and, the chance to just slow down for a minute. That's really the main takeaway.
And that idea, minimizing the pause, is about to get turned completely upside down.
It really is.
We're crossing over to Paris, France, where the core concept for the morning is the absolute opposite of Tokyo's. We're talking about pleasure and slowness.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting because the language, the vocabulary of a Parisian morning, it directly rejects everything we just talked about.
How so?
The Parisian routine isn't about collective output. It's all about personal experience, quality of life, what they call l'art de vivre, the art of living.
So the morning is like a deliberate act of resistance against being rushed.
A perfect way to put it. If Tokyo is about maximizing speed, Paris is about maximizing enjoyment, and that changes the vocabulary completely.
Okay, so let's start with enjoying the meal. Our first keyword here defines this experience perfectly. It's savor.
To savor means to enjoy food or drink slowly. You're taking time to really appreciate the taste, the texture, the smell. It's an active word. It demands you to be present in the moment.
Right. In English, we often use savor for special occasions, savoring a good glass of wine or savoring a holiday dinner.
Exactly. But in Paris, this applies to the daily breakfast ritual. It means you sit down, or at the very least, you pause at a counter and you genuinely focus on the quality of how your day is starting.
You can't savor something while you're running for a train.
You absolutely cannot. The word itself requires you to allocate time for it.
So what are they savoring? Is it some big, complicated meal?
Not at all, and that's the beauty of it. It's often simple foods, but they're elevated by the quality and the ritual. Which brings us to our next two keywords.
Okay.
First, we have tartine.
A tartine. Simply defined, this is just a slice of bread with butter or jam on it.
It sounds so basic, almost mundane, But the ritual is what matters. It's often enjoyed with a coffee, maybe dipped into the coffee, and it creates this moment of simple, uncomplicated pleasure.
And then, of course, there's the one everyone knows, the symbol of a French breakfast.
The pastry.
Yes, the pastry. A type of sweet, flaky, baked item. Your croissant, your pain au chocolat.
Right. And a good pastry is light, it's delicate, it requires you to eat it with some care. You can't just wolf it down.
So the genius of this morning ritual, focusing on a tartine or a pastry that you have to savor, is that it forces you to take a mental break.
It's an intentional act of slowing down before the day really starts. It's a very conscious cultural choice that values the experience more than the acceleration.
If you put the Tokyo and Paris models side by side, it's just...
Wow!
The vending machine fuel in Tokyo is efficient, fast, anonymous.
While the pastry and tartine in Paris are slow, tactile, and often eaten in a public but relaxed cafe space.
You see the full spectrum of cultural priorities right there. One is about saving time, and the other is about spending it intentionally.
And that priority of pleasure also dictates how people physically move. Which brings us to the pace of movement and our final keyword for Paris, leisurely.
Leisurely. I like that word. It means what? Relaxed walking. Moving without a hurry.
Exactly. Moving without pressure. It suggests a sense of ease, of freedom from a strict schedule.
The difference between a leisurely pace and the mad dash of Tokyo is it's profound. In Tokyo, every second of movement is calculated for speed.
Right, for that collective efficiency. But in Paris, the morning walk to the bakery or the cafe is often deliberately leisurely. It's part of the enjoyment of the morning itself.
The walk isn't just a means to an end.
Not at all. It's part of the experience. The culture seems to understand that a moment of slowness can set a much better tone for the whole day. A leisurely walk lets you observe your surroundings, connect with your neighborhood, and mentally prepare for work without all the stress of being constantly rushed.
So the cultural priority is that a happy person is ultimately a more effective person.
Even if they start work 5 minutes later, yes.
So there we have it, the complete inversion. Yeah. Efficiency in Japan demands speed and being packed.
While pleasure in France demands a leisurely pace to savor a simple tartine, the goal isn't acceleration, it's appreciation.
It really raises a powerful question for you, for anyone listening. Which of those priorities best supports your own personal energy level?
Do you thrive under that pressure of maximum efficiency, or do you need that mental space that a deliberate leisurely start gives you? Something to think about.
Okay, let's take our final transatlantic flight now. Yeah. We're landing in New York City.
Right.
And here, the operating system is a kind of hybrid. It blends speed with this intense personal ambition. The dominant theme is productivity and work.
New York often feels like a fusion of the last two cities, doesn't it? It has the speed and the intensity of Tokyo.
For sure.
But it's directed almost entirely towards individual optimization, career output. It's not so much about the collective efficiency of the whole system.
But more personal.
Very personal. The morning isn't just preparation for work. In New York, the morning is work.
Okay, let's start with the journey to work. It's a huge, often stressful part of the day there. Our first word is commute.
We define commute as the time spent traveling to work.
And in big American cities, especially New York, that travel time can be really long. An hour and a half is pretty common.
It is, but what's critical about the New York commute is how that time is viewed. It's been mentally transformed.
What do you mean?
In a culture that's so driven by productivity, time cannot be wasted. So the commute becomes a space for multitasking.
Right. You're listening to industry podcasts, answering emails on your phone.
Checking stock reports, reviewing notes for your first meeting. It's no longer just travel time. It's the first productive block of your workday.
So the person who can turn their commute into a productive hour is seen as winning the day.
It's an opportunity cost calculation. If I spend an hour on the train doing nothing, I've wasted a valuable productive hour. And this pressure extends beyond the desk.
It bleeds into personal well-being too, right?
Yeah.
That brings us to fitness and activity, and our second keyword, hit the gym.
Hit the gym is very common American slang. It just means going to exercise, usually at a fitness center.
But the word hit is interesting. It's aggressive.
It implies arriving with purpose. I'm going to hit the gym, often very early, before the workday even begins.
So why is hitting the gym such a key part of the productive New York morning?
Because in that hustle culture, personal fitness is seen as a necessary input for maximum mental output.
You're optimizing your body.
You're optimizing the machine that delivers the work. If you neglect your physical health, you are, in the long run, compromising your productivity. It's all connected.
You see that combination again of efficiency and personal output. The ideal New York professional is the one who hits the gym at 6 a.m., then uses their commute to prepare for their meetings.
It's all about demonstrating total control over your time and your energy.
But all of this hyper-optimization must have a cost. It leads to our final set of words, which describe the pace of the city. Our third word is hectic.
Hectic means busy, frantic, and chaotic. It describes an environment that feels overwhelming because of the sheer amount of activity and pressure. And New York mornings are often, by their very nature, hectic.
And that high level of activity, that pressure to always be moving and producing, it just eliminates any chance of slowing down. There's no time to savor anything.
None. Which brings us to our final keyword, to go.
To go.
It means taking your coffee or your food out of the cafe or restaurant. You're eating it while you're walking, traveling, or maybe when you're already at your desk. You are not sitting down inside.
The to-go coffee cup is the ultimate physical symbol of the New York routine, isn't it?
It truly is. If you're sitting down, you're perceived as wasting time. The productivity mandate means you cannot stop moving. So you grab your coffee to go and you keep moving through the hectic streets.
And if we connect hectic and to go, the cultural priority is just undeniable.
It is. The pressure of productivity drives a hectic schedule, which makes to-go consumption a necessity. It's not a choice, it's a requirement.
Unlike the Parisian, who deliberately spends time enjoying a pastry.
The New Yorker deliberately saves that time by consuming on the move, ensuring there's constant forward momentum toward the day's goals.
Okay, let's try to synthesize this. Let's paint the picture using all 12 keywords. It really crystallizes the differences.
Let's do it. In Tokyo, the struggle is with space and time. You need to be absolutely punctual, you have to move efficiently through the packed rush hour, and you're grabbing fuel from a vending machine. The goal is collective efficiency.
Then in Paris, the struggle is almost intentional. They're fighting against speed itself to achieve a leisurely enjoyment. They're making sure they have time to savor a tartine or a pastry. The goal is personal pleasure.
And finally, New York. The struggle there is optimization. You're hitting the gym before a productive commute, and you're fueled by coffee to go because the high-pressure, hectic environment demands constant output. The goal is individual productivity.
It's incredible. Just by understanding the real context behind words like packed versus leisurely or savor versus to go, you get this deep insight into three completely different philosophies about time and life.
So we've really dissected three powerful, dominating cultural concepts that shape those first critical hours of the day. Efficiency in Japan, pleasure in France, and productivity in the USA.
And what we've shown, I hope, is that this specific vocabulary is a true, sophisticated shortcut. Knowing the cultural weight of these words is so much more important than just knowing their dictionary definition.
It is. It's about understanding the expectations these cultures place on people every single day.
The vocabulary isn't just passive description, it's active instruction. These words tell you how you must behave to fit in with your society's values.
Right, whether those values prioritize the train schedule or the taste of your croissant.
So what does this all mean for you, our learner?
Think about your own morning. Which one of these key concepts best describes your current routine?
Are you a person focused on speed and efficiency? Are you a pleasure seeker who really carves out time for the morning experience? Or are you totally focused on maximizing your output and productivity before 9 a.m.?
It can be a challenging thing to reflect on. You know, if you live in a place that's governed by one of these principles, it can be hard to even see that there's an alternative. But the beauty of understanding these different vocabularies is that you can borrow from them. You can make a choice.
And that brings us to a final thought for you to mull over as we finish up this deep dive.
If you could deliberately swap just one single keyword from your current routine with one from another culture, how do you think it would change your day?
That's a great question. For example, if you're constantly in a hectic to-go state, what if you enforced the Parisian idea of savoring your breakfast for 10 full minutes?
With no phone, no news, no multitasking, just you and your food.
Or, on the flip side, if you live a very relaxed life, what if you forced yourself to be absolutely punctual for every single thing, down to the minute, just for a week?
That one small change, adopting the behavior behind just one of these words, can reveal so much about your own priorities and how you could maybe shift your quality of life.
So think about that. What's the one word that would challenge you the most?
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into cultural mornings. We hope these 12 words help you understand the world and maybe your own schedule just a little bit better.
And that brings us to the end of our first trip around the world. We saw the rush of Tokyo, the savoring in Paris, and the hustle of New York. But we are not done yet. How do people start their mornings in the sunny beaches of Brazil? Or the disciplined streets of Germany? In part 2 of Morning Routines, we will visit new countries and discover totally different habits that might change your life. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now so you don't miss the next flight. Thanks for listening to English Around Us. And see you in part 2.